listening to the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast with Tony D. Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast, your episodic dose of trivia covering all things video games and nerdy. Now, here's your host, Tony D.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast. This will be a minisode. We're going to be doing maybe 2 more minisodes, this one and one more, or maybe just this one. I'm not sure yet, but we're doing a minisode. It's going to be the end of the year, so I'm going to do this minisode on the best movies of 2023. So how it works is I'll give you 10 questions. I'll ask you a question, give you 5 seconds of silence, and then tell you the answer. So it's going to be short, just 10 questions, so let's just get right into it. Question 1. This movie is a live-action adaptation of a Mattel toy starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. What movie is this? That is Barbie. Question 2. This movie is an animated video game adaptation of Nintendo's favorite mascot. It was done by Illumination. Which movie is this? This is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Question 3. This is a sequel to a Sony Marvel animated movie about Miles Morales. What movie is this? This is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Question 4. This movie pits the heroes against the High Evolutionary and is the second sequel to this Marvel team. What movie is this? This is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Question 5. This movie is about the American theoretical physicist who would eventually be the father of the atomic bomb. What movie is this? This is Oppenheimer. And Oppenheimer and Barbie dominated the box office this year around the same time, so they were calling it like Barbenheimer. That was kind of funny. Question 6. This was a live adaptation of a classic underwater Disney film featuring Ariel and her friends. What movie is this? This was, of course, the live-action version of The Little Mermaid. Question 7. This is the first sequel in a planned 4 sequels to the sci-fi epic by James Cameron set on the planet Pandora. What movie is this? This is Avatar: The Way of the Water. Question 8. This Marvel movie introduced Kang the Conqueror as the primary villain. What movie is this? This is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Question 9. This Keanu Reeves movie is a neo-noir action thriller movie, and the 2023 movie was the 3rd sequel in the franchise. What movie is this? This is John Wick Chapter 4. And question 10. This movie is a crime thriller film, directed and co-written by Alejandro Monteverde, and stars Jim Caviezel, Mira Sorvino, and Bill Camp, about a former US government agent who embarks on a mission to rescue children in Colombia. What movie is this? This is The Sound of Freedom. Alright, so actually those were the biggest box office movies of 2023, which is why I had this list, so that's another fun trivia for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed this really quick episode about the movies of 2023. As always, you can always reach out to me on VG Anti Podcast 1 on Instagram or VG Anti Podcast on Twitter or X. And yeah, give me a shout out, give me some suggestions for future topics. Hope everyone has a great new year. And until next time, trivia on.